The rain was so heavy that the streets looked like rivers, and the knock on my apartment door came just as I was about to turn off the lights. I almost ignored it, but something deep inside me refused to let me walk away. When I opened the door, the last person I ever expected to see was standing there, soaked from head to toe, exhausted, and barely able to keep standing. My best friend, Rowan Mercer, looked at me with eyes filled not with pride, but with desperation. He quietly said, "Just one night, please," and in that moment I realized that sometimes the strongest people hide the deepest pain. Before we continue, if you believe kindness deserves a second chance and that one act of compassion can change a life forever, please like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone who believes in hope, and subscribe to Kindness Forever. Your support helps us bring more heartfelt stories that remind us the world still has good people. For nearly 12 years, Rowan had been the person everyone admired. He was hardworking, dependable, and always the first to help someone else. Friends called him the rock of the group because he never complained, never asked for favors, and somehow always found a solution for every problem. We had shared childhood memories, school adventures, and dreams of building successful lives. As adulthood pulled us into different careers, we stayed connected through occasional phone calls and birthday messages. Whenever we met, Rowan smiled the same confident smile, making it impossible to imagine that anything could ever break him. That rainy evening, however, the smile was gone. His jacket was torn, his shoes were muddy, and his hands trembled from cold and exhaustion. I didn't ask questions immediately. I simply welcomed him inside, handed him a dry towel, prepared warm tea, and found spare clothes. Sometimes people don't need answers first. They need safety. The silence in my apartment lasted almost an hour. Rowan stared out the window while holding the steaming mug with both hands. Finally, he admitted that everything he had worked for had collapsed within a single month. His company had shut down without warning. Bills piled up faster than he could pay them. His landlord refused to wait another week for rent, and the apartment he had proudly called home was gone before sunset. To make matters worse, the people he believed would always stand beside him slowly disappeared. Phone calls went unanswered. Messages were ignored. The world suddenly became very quiet. Listening to him, I realized how easy it is for people to celebrate success but disappear during failure. Rowan wasn't asking for money. He wasn't asking for miracles. All he wanted was one safe place to sleep so he could gather enough strength to begin again. The next morning, sunlight pushed away the storm clouds, and the apartment felt warmer than it had in months. Instead of letting Rowan sink into hopelessness, we created a plan together. We updated his resume, contacted old colleagues, searched job listings, and even visited local businesses in person. Every rejection hurt, but each one reminded us that giving up would guarantee failure while trying still left room for hope. Days slowly turned into weeks. Rowan insisted on helping around the apartment. He repaired broken shelves, cooked dinner whenever he could, cleaned without being asked, and never forgot to express gratitude. Watching him made me realize that true character is revealed not when life is comfortable, but when everything has been taken away. One afternoon, while delivering resumes across town, we noticed an elderly man struggling to unload heavy boxes outside a small furniture workshop. Without hesitation, Rowan rushed over and helped him. He didn't know the man owned the business. He simply saw someone who needed assistance. The owner noticed Rowan's determination and calm attitude. Instead of offering only thanks, he invited him inside for a conversation. They spoke for nearly an hour about craftsmanship, responsibility, and resilience. Before we left, the owner offered Rowan a temporary position. It wasn't glamorous, and the salary wasn't impressive, but it was the opportunity he desperately needed. Rowan accepted without hesitation. Every morning he left before sunrise and returned after sunset with sore muscles but a genuine smile. Week after week, his dedication earned respect. Customers appreciated his honesty, co-workers trusted him, and the owner eventually promoted him to workshop manager. Months later, Rowan rented a modest apartment again. It wasn't large, but it was his. He bought second-hand furniture, planted flowers outside the window, and invited me over for dinner. Looking around his small home, I realized it contained something far more valuable than expensive decorations. It contained peace. As we shared a simple meal, Rowan admitted that the hardest part of losing everything wasn't becoming homeless for one night. It was believing that his worth had disappeared along with his job. The kindness shown to him reminded him that people are valuable because of who they are, not because of what they own. His words stayed with me long after that evening ended. We often think helping someone requires wealth, but sometimes all it takes is opening a door, listening without judgment, sharing a meal, or giving someone the confidence to believe tomorrow can still be better than today. If this story has touched your heart so far, please take a moment to like this video, share it with your friends and family, leave a comment, and subscribe to Kindness Forever. Every interaction helps these stories reach people who may need hope the most. Special request, before the story ends, tell us in the comments, have you ever given someone just one night of help, or has someone ever given that gift to you? Years later, Rowan often volunteered at local shelters, quietly paying forward the compassion that had changed his own life. He never forgot the rainy night when he stood at a friend's door with nothing but hope. And I never forgot that opening my door for one night didn't simply give someone a place to sleep. It gave a broken heart the chance to believe in tomorrow again. Life has a remarkable way of returning kindness when we least expect it. A single night of compassion can become a lifetime of gratitude, a small act can rewrite someone's future, and the hand we choose to extend today may one day become the reason another person never gives up. That is the quiet power of kindness, and sometimes, it begins with 4 simple words, just one night, please.